total praise to you. Amen. 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 Amen again. We not about to have Bible study, and neither are we about to have some church. But I do want to give God some praise. I do want to give God some praise today. I thank him for being who he is. I thank him for what he has done. I thank him for all of the victories that we won. Y'all, we won a lot of victories in 2021. We are continuing to win victories in 2022. Miracles are still happening in 2022, and God is definitely in the miracle working business. So I am just so grateful for everything he's done. It's just amazing that I'm right before you right now to talk to you, that I am yet still alive. It is really amazing to me. I've gone through a lot of challenges myself. I was on 12 liters of oxygen last April. They were talking about putting me on a ventilator. I could not move. Neither could I get on a toilet stool on my own. But God, he brought me out. He delivered me. He told me he had a work for me to do, a mission for me, and it just wasn't my time just yet. I remember being at a green light. A lot of y'all watched that live about that green light. I remember I was about to go. I was going through the green light. This is how I know God got to work for me. It's a lot of other things that has happened. I was in Hammond, Indiana, going through a green light. God froze my body up, made me stop. I didn't even know why I was stopping the car. I had no idea why all of a suddenly I'm going through the green. God froze me. Something got a hold of me, made me hit my brakes, and I was a second away from being hit on by some person who was speeding through a red. Yeah, that happened not just too long ago. And if you were following that Pebbles Bam Bam Facebook profile, they now deactivated it. I didn't wait for them to shut my stuff down. I deactivated it on my own. Then you definitely witnessed that testimony that I gave. Got a lot of views, I think, talking about the green light experience. So the green light experience. So I am just so grateful. I feel compelled to reintroduce myself to everyone, being that there has been a significant boost in following. We have on the Missing, Lost, and Trafficked Media Facebook page a total of 6,936 followers with 3,842 likes. The Missing, Lost, and Trafficked Facebook group has 6.4K members. Lost, Lured, and Unsolved Facebook media page has 316 likes with 572 followers. The Missing, Lost, and Trafficked YouTube channel has over 100,000 views right now, with a total of 1.47K subscribers. The Missing, Lost, and Trafficked Instagram page has a total number of 565 followers, and we're hoping to reach the goal of reaching to 1,000. I have a 1,000 following goal for the Instagram page, and I do plan to try to do some things with the Instagram to make it a little bit more interactive, increase engagement and all of that good stuff. Okay, so I just wanted to give you the stats. Definitely we're growing significantly. This is a collaborative effort. I am not able to do what I do and be as effective at doing so without the help of supporters, without the help of people leaking information to me, sending me WhatsApp messages, spilling the tea at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I'm able to do what I do because of you. Okay? And of God's grace and anointing, but also through your support, the tremendous outpour of support that I receive from individuals all over the United States of America, even around throughout the United Kingdom. Okay, I have supporters in Australia, and I have supporters in various other countries as well. And so I am just so excited about what is happening with Missing, Lost, and Trafficked. I'm extremely excited about Missing, Lost, and Trafficked. And you may be wondering, well, who are you? If it's your first time looking at me in the flesh, right? Somewhat. You may be a new follower to the Facebook page, okay? You may be a new subscriber on YouTube, and I do plan to upload this video of this live stream to YouTube after it has ended. You may be an Instagram follower. You could be a new member of the Missing, Lost, and Trafficked Facebook group. Yes, there are multiple platforms attached to Missing, Lost, and Trafficked. So you may be wondering, well, who is managing all of these different platforms? Who is doing this? Who is single? And I just have to say single-handedly, because I am single-handedly. I don't know how, some type of way it's happening. Single-handedly. Thank you, Miss Sherry. I do appreciate your sending your stars and your support. We haven't gotten a lot of stars, but I just keep doing what I'm doing, what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do what God says do. If you don't send a star, if you don't send anything, until God tells me not to do it anymore. So you say, okay, all right, it's time for you to do something else. I'm going to keep doing what I do, and I do it despite whatever. I'm doing it despite whatever, okay? So, almost lost my train of thought, y'all. So, yes, let me introduce myself. For all of the new people, you're like, who is managing this page? Who is posting all these articles? Who is spilling all this tea, right? Who is posting all of these receipts? Who is up at 3, 4, 5, 6? Because I've been going through a lot of I know what I'm trying to say. Is it insomnia lately, where I've been having a hard time sleeping. So when I can't sleep, I will just sit up all night working on different cases, trying to find out information about current cases that I'm currently reporting on. People are reaching out to me at different times, and it's me, Pebbles. Hi, hello, I'm Pebbles, and I'm managing the Missing, Lost, and Trafficked Facebook page. I am the founder of Missing, Lost, and Trafficked, Pebbles. I am the founder of Lost, Lured, and Unsolved, Pebbles. Who's managing Patreon, Instagram, both of the media pages, the YouTube channel? It's a lot of work. It's me. I'm single-handedly doing it. Someone offered to contribute. I took her up on her offer, and I don't know what happened to her. But yeah, contributing writers are needed because I'm doing a lot. Okay? And it takes a lot out of my day. It takes a lot out of my time. But I am doing it for a purpose. It's intentional. I am hoping to raise awareness with the instant articles. I do a lot of instant articles. I take time to create mini slideshows. You'll see who's seeing the mini slideshows. Who is seeing the mini slideshows? I hope that you are starring them. It's a lot of work to put those slideshows together, whether you think so or not, because I am trying to really highlight certain issues, and I want to highlight it in a certain way. I want to put people in the best light possible when they are victims. I am not a fan of victims being painted in a negative light. So I really think about, okay, what photo, what screenshot am I going to blend with this screenshot, and how I'm going to put this together, and what transition I'm going to use. So when you see those mini slideshows, the mini photo slideshows, the reels, I'm creating those mini slideshows, and I'm uploading them on Facebook. I'm uploading them to the YouTube channel. Okay. So I do want you all to know that I put a lot of thought into all of my reporting. The print, I'm doing print journalism. I'm doing what you may refer to as instant articles. I write a lot of mini instant articles. People don't want to read 3 and 4 pages. They just want to know, okay, what happened today? They want to know the who, what, when, and where. So I try to give you that who, what, when, and where in those mini instant articles that you see when you see by missing, lost, and trafficked, by lost, lured, and unsolved. Well, that's just me, trying to make sure that you are abreast with the many instant articles regarding just things that it's happening across the country. Okay, all sorts of events happening across the country. So I put a lot of thought and effort into the print, the multimedia slideshows that's being created. When I'm preparing to interview individuals, I'm not doing as many interviews this year. I want to, though, as I did in 2021, but I do want to. I want to talk to more family members. I want to talk to more cousins, friends, employers, about people in their lives that are missing, individuals who aren't getting the type of coverage that they should get, individuals who are homicide victims, whereas their crimes have not been solved. Okay. And so that's my purpose. I have multiple purposes. Another purpose is to raise awareness about human trafficking in this country. So I'm raising awareness. I'm reporting on missing persons. Okay. Raising awareness, reporting on homicide victims getting little to no media attention. I'm raising awareness, reporting on individuals that are victims of human trafficking. So yeah, I even report on lost dogs. I will. I don't want this to be a pet forum, so to speak, a missing pet platform, but I have reported on missing dogs, or dogs who something happened to your dog and thank God your dog survived it, or even a death of a dog. I reported on a death of a dog. I report on missing pets. There's just a lot of gray area in terms of what you may see on missing, lost, and trafficked platforms. Okay. A lot of gray areas. Drownings. I'm reporting on drownings, car accidents, people carjacking folks. All of that. Okay. I want you to know that. And you might want to know, well, okay, Miss Pebbles, I see you're doing a lot, an awful lot. What is driving you to do what you do? What led you into what you're doing right now? Okay, so I'm going to show you what led me into what I'm doing right now, what led me to where I am right now. I love it if you could give my cousin a thumbs up. Robert Johnson led me here. God led me, but it was the death of my cousin. It was the death of my cousin that really drove me to my purpose and what I'm doing right now as a journalist. And even the manner in which I'm reporting on people. I try to do it with so much compassion, with a lot of grace, dignity. I tried my best to highlight the best in everybody. I try. Okay? And it was the murder of Robert Johnson. Okay? We called him Bob. He's affectionately known as Bob. And he was murdered back in 2020 during the COVID-19, the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. And it was during the time whereas Mayor Lori Lightfoot had essentially locked down the whole city. Nobody was doing anything except for getting gas and going home. And if you were in Chicago, living in Chicago during that time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The only way you were going to get restaurant food is through Uber Eats, and there were a lot of restaurants that were not open, a lot of bars not open, all types of non-essential businesses not open. It was very much. It was strange driving around Chicago. It was something, a sight to see. You'd have to have been in Chicago to know what I'm talking about, what it felt like being in Chicago or driving around Chicago during that time. But my cousin died and was murdered during that time. And was murdered by 3 people, played a role in his murder. And I found out, and that was back in 2020, and I found out that a few months ago, a trio was charged for his murder. So for a significant period of time, we did not know who had played a role specifically in his murder, and no one had been charged. And my cousin is part of the reason why I stayed in college and earned my bachelor's degree. He was a motivating factor in my going a step further. And I do really want to go further than that. Then I've gone and get my doctorate degree. So he was a motivator factor in me getting my master's degree. He was there for me when I was homeless, paying to stay at different places like hostels and stuff in Chicago, and just trying to figure out where I'm going to be from week to week. Yeah. When I experienced that, he was there. He never stopped believing in me. He never stopped believing in what I can do. Never stopped believing in my potential. Never got to the point where he was just like, you know what? I'm fed up. You know, there were people who got to that point because I was struggling for a while. I went through a lot of struggling, a whole lot of struggling. I mean, struggling. I feel like that's my life story. My life story has been an ongoing, constant struggle. And I have to continue to try to figure out a way around it, right? Break free of it some kind of way. Find a door when all the doors seem to be closed. I'm going to find me a door some type of way. I'm going to find a way. And he is one of the individuals that had been in my life who helped me to kind of sort through some things. And he was the helper in the family. He taught half the family how to drive. He was that person that you can call on when you couldn't call on nobody else. Like I done some dumb things and got myself in predicaments, and I was like, man, I know I can't call such and such on this. I ain't calling. They gonna clown me. All right, I can call Bob. Hey Bob, I'm in such and such. Where you at? I'm on the west side, cuz. Okay, cuz I'm on the south side. Can you? He like, I'm on the way. Yeah. So yeah, he's there. He was there. That's the one that would, he'll bail you out of a situation real quick, and yeah, he'll bail you out and talk crazy to you, but you know, it was constructive, I'll say that. And so it was almost as if I had lost a parent, in a sense. I would say the grief that I have that I felt. I couldn't even go to the graveyard when it was time to go. It was just, it was that rough on me. I just couldn't believe things were playing out the way it had played out. And that some young people that didn't know, I don't think they knew my cousin, at least from a hole in the wall, preyed on him and took his life out like that. They just had no idea what they had done and the atrocity they committed against our family. And so it was, he didn't go missing, he was murdered. But it was his murder. And at the time, for a very long time, of course, you know, up until recently, it was an unsolved murder. I was completely outraged at what had happened. That instantly, I mean instantly, I remember I was just dropping him off on the west side of Chicago. Days before it happened. And I got a call at 4 a.m. that I will never, ever, ever forget as long as I live. I will never forget that call I got in the 4 a.m. My cousin telling me they killed Bob. They tried to rob him. I will never forget that call that I got. Never. So it was his death that walked me like into what I'm doing as a journalist, because I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do as a journalist. I was teaching. I had these journalism degrees, a bachelor's degree. Okay. And I'm like, that's not going to help with, you know, if I want to get on anybody's news team, I had to go back and get the master's. All right. And I said I wanted to do all this before I turned 40. I'm 39. So, okay, I accomplished those goals. I wanted to get the bachelor's. Then I'm like, okay, let me go and get the master's. I have a master's in communications from DePaul University. Went and did that, you know, and got my master's degree. And so, yeah, it really was his demise, in a sense, that walked me into what I'm doing now. Kind of hard to explain, really. I remember the first missing person case I reported on. It was a young 17-year-old. And a lot of my followers who are familiar with my previous pages, they know about that case. She had been missing out of Gary. And I drove to Gary and I began driving around Gary looking for her. I went to abandoned structures looking for her. And I reported on her disappearance for more than 6 months. Her father thought she was dead. That was my very first missing person case I ever reported on. I remember that. That live garnered about 17,000 views. A whole TikTok movement was spraying into action behind that first person I reported on. There was like this, people with big platforms were trying to do what they could to help me raise awareness about her. And I remember I reported on her so much. I did not give up, to the point she reached out to me, logged in her Facebook after probably about 5 or 6 months missing, and say, I'm not missing. Then she posted, she got an attitude because I was blowing the spot up. Her father thought she was dead, and say, I'm not missing. And she posted on the Facebook page, I'm not missing. And then she actually opened up and talked to her father. And that was just a wonderful moment. There are so many teenagers I've reported on who have gone missing. I can't count. I can't count on one hand all those teenagers who have gone missing. I've made contact with their parents, reported on their disappearance, hosted 50 state alerts, using nothing but this phone and another phone with just my phone, reaching thousands of people with 2 phones, just alive in 2 phones, showing people photos, blowing up their spots, sharing whatever information I could find on those young teenagers, and they were being found. Teen after teen after teen after teen after, they were being found back to back. Back to back. Some of those teens, I would be reporting on those teenagers, and while I was live, folks would be like, you can hear this live, they just got found. Really? It got to the point where I think some of the teenagers, the word was getting out about me, like, that lady Latricia, I was under Latricia at one time. She reported on y'all. Y'all might as well just go and go back home. Y'all might as well just call y'all mamas. Y'all might as well. she about to blow every spot up. Any information that I'm gonna get on these teens, I'm putting it out there. Like you can't hide. Like you gonna go home. So it was like, you know what? There go that. Hold on. There go that missing, lost in trafficking lady. She's back at it again. Let me just call my mama. Folks know when I start reporting on them and going in and blowing the spot up, it's like, let me just, you know what? I done reported on several teens missing out of Gary, and they were like, you know what? I'm going to just go, yeah. Let me just go and take this L and go back home. So, it's just been really amazing. It's really, really, really been amazing. All of the victories, all of the discoveries, all the findings. I've been privileged to have assistance from the new Black Panther Party for self-defense. That organization helped me to locate a young girl who had went missing out of Marietta, Georgia. She had to be rescued. The organization saw me live with these 2 phones, and I'm showing the photos of her. I'm giving every detail I could on Maddie. I'm putting it all out there, and they reached out and said, "How can we help? Can you come get us in contact with her mother?" And I did. And within hours, they went in, did their own rescue mission and rescued that girl. Awareness is everything. She was rescued. This wasn't a finding. She had to be rescued. They saw my live, and they set some stuff up, and they rescued that girl. They sure did. And I remember them posting pictures about it. So, I could go on and on. There's just been so many different discoveries and amazing discoveries. There have been people who have reached out to me who did not see their adult children in months. I reported on these adults missing for months. They were thinking maybe I can help them get closure and maybe we find a deceased person. Nope. Those individuals were not dead. They were alive. I hosted a live stream, did a 50-state alert, asked every single person tuning in and following my Facebook page to share that live. That live went around, and next thing you know, I'm getting a call from somebody's father. I know I said I hadn't seen my adult daughter in months. She has kids. Somebody else raising her kids. That's how long she been gone. Well, can you take the post down? She's not missing anymore. What? She reached out to me. What? Amazing. I remember the young girl who went missing. There was an Amber Alert out of Memphis. I'm just sharing some testimony. I can't go over it all. There's so many miraculous testimonies that I have that I could share. I cannot be talking all night. Whereas whereas the naysayers had already mapped out in their mind, these people are dead. Somebody done trafficked them, they're gone. And it wasn't so. It simply wasn't so. They're back home and they're back home safe. I remember the young girl who got kidnapped in Memphis a few months ago. And I know that God has been dealing with me. And I know that God has anointed me to do what I'm doing. Because he's shown me in a lot of different ways. I anointed you for this. She had been kidnapped at gunpoint in Memphis. 17 years old, kidnapped at gunpoint. There was an Amber Alert, if my memory serves me correct. Some type of way her cousin had gotten in contact with me. And we were conversing back and forth, and I was trying to find out all that I could find out about her abductor. And I was posting everything I could find out about the abductor. I'm posting it. I prayed. God directed me to pray. I prayed that young girl, by midnight. It had been going on about 48 hours, I believe, since she was kidnapped at gunpoint, y'all. A lot of people already had wrote the end of that story. A lot of people didn't think this would happen. That girl was kidnapped at gunpoint in Memphis. They're issuing an Amber Alert. I prayed that she would be released from that man by midnight. God answered prayer. I said by midnight. That was a bold declaration for me to be like, you know what? I know she was kidnapped at gunpoint. There's an active Amber Alert for this young woman, a young female in Memphis. God, can you release her by midnight? I stood on that. I asked my followers, my faith-based followers, to be in agreement with me on that. I get a message from her cousin a few minutes after midnight telling me she done escaped that man. She had escaped. And I remember after I prayed, I said, it is so. She's going to be found alive. It is so. And she had actually escaped. I know God has been dealing with me. I'm going to go ahead and digress because there's so many stories, y'all, that I could share. I've had Facebook pages deleted, disabled by Facebook because of haters. There was one time that Nancy Grace herself was following me. There were sheriffs and police officers across the country following me. There were notable journalists across the country. I remember posting a screenshot. I was amazed, with blue check marks following me. Missing, lost, and trafficked has had an impact on this country. Missing, lost, and trafficked has had an impact on this world, on the world. So I want to talk a little bit about missing, lost, and trafficked. Just give you a little bit of a disclaimer. Missing, Lost, and Trafficked is a non-profit journalism organization. Missing, Lost, and Trafficked receives or accepts donations from private individuals. We will receive donations from private foundations. No missing, lost, or trafficked individual, family member, right? Any of my sources, individuals who are interviewed, right, on missing, lost, and trafficked platforms are charged any fees. This is a journalist organization. I am a missing person homicide investigative journalist. Okay, so I want you to understand that journalists don't charge fees. Being that I am an independent journalist, independent of CBS Chicago, independent of Northwest Indiana Times, independent of any organization issuing out any paychecks, okay? And I want to grow my independent organization. I definitely appreciate, right, donations as they come, okay? So I want you to understand that, all right? Also, Missing, Lost, and Trafficked founder and contributors, reserve the right to report news or to, express an opinion about a news event without censorship from the government or individuals, okay? It's important that you know that all electronic communication, including social media posts, are a public record. Missing, Lost, and Trafficked exercises the freedom of press right guaranteed by the United States Constitution, First Amendment. And that right to discuss, scrutinize, or investigate any social media posts published about missing persons, homicide victims, or trafficked persons without oral or written consent from family members, spouses, or friends of missing, lost, or trafficked individuals. Missing, Lost, and Trafficked will update the public when missing persons have been found alive or deceased. After said development has been stated on social media, in news articles, or in a press release from police officials. Okay? Coverage on missing, lost, or trafficked individuals is not a form of harassment. Coverage on missing, lost, or trafficked individuals is not covering, reporting on missing people, giving updates on missing people is not a form of harassment. Now, going into someone's bathroom and reporting on what they did in the bathroom, well, that's an invasion of privacy, and that would be considered, for example, some form of stalking and harassment, okay? So I wanted to break that down, okay? I want to talk a little bit about missing, lost, and trafficked platforms. I know that we have nearly 7,000 followers on this page, following this page. And there are over 6,000 members in the Missing, Lost, and Trafficked Facebook group. Over 1,400 followers to the YouTube channel. I'm proud of that because we started off with just a few people following on YouTube. And I've just been trying to be more consistent to grow that following. So I want you to know that you can subscribe to Missing, Lost, and Trafficking on YouTube. You can decide to become a member of the channel. Membership is available. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member today, and you are able to read over the various perks and levels to membership. I want you to also know that you are able to send donations if you like to $Find the Missing. Missing, Lost, and Trafficking. We have a Venmo. You can donate through Facebook payments. There is an active Facebook fundraiser for Missing, Lost, and Trafficking on Facebook, and you can definitely reach out to me via email, via WhatsApp to get information on how to donate to that fundraiser. I do periodically post the link to the Missing, Lost, and Trafficking fundraiser in the group and on our media pages. Okay, there is a Missing, Lost, and Trafficking Instagram. You can follow Missing, Lost, and Trafficking on Instagram. We have a Patreon. The Patreon, I'm just trying to figure out, how best to utilize Patreon right now. I have been posting details about missing people to Patreon that I wouldn't want to post to Facebook. Like certain bits of information, certain details that I do not want to have to worry about folks reporting. I know I can post it on Patreon. And you can view text messages missing people have sent out to other people. You can view certain documents. Alexis Ware, hint, hint, hint. There's a document you might want to look at. On Patreon, you can. Just certain things that I don't feel would go over well on Facebook. I don't want to post it to YouTube either. I want to control my content, and I don't want other people feeling like they can control my content. Just new discoveries, that those sorts of things are posted to Patreon. There are public Patreon posts. Most of the posts are public. The more sensitive bits of information is not public. They are in locked posts, and you will have to become a subscriber, Patreon subscriber to view those locked posts. But most of the posts are public. It's just me copying over what I've already reported on Facebook. Okay, so if you have a person if there is a person that is missing in your family, a friend that's missing, and you would like more awareness to be brought to that missing person, or a person who is or was a victim of a homicide, you can email, and this is for United States citizens, you can email Missing, Lost, and Trafficking at gmail.com. This is a very silent live. Are y'all there? Hello? Is anyone there? UK. If you reside in the United Kingdom, and there is a missing person you would like Missing, Lost, and Trafficking to report on, a missing person, a person who is a victim of a homicide getting little to no media attention, you can send information, an article, a photo, whatever receipts that you have to Missing in UK at outlook.com. So there is an email that I want my United States citizens to use. There is a separate email for people wanting to send information about incidents happening in, or it could be trafficking incidents, occurring in the United Kingdom. Two separate emails. I got one for the United States, the US, and another one for the UK. Missing, Lost, and Trafficking reports on individuals missing out of the following three countries: missing, lost, or trafficked out of the United Kingdom, out of Australia, and out of the United States. Now, missing, lost, and trafficked has a focus, in terms of what states take more priority in reporting. You're going to see a lot of reporting on missing, lost, and trafficked events, right, in the state of Michigan, in the state of Illinois, and in the state of Indiana. And you may see on a regular basis information about missing, lost, or trafficked individuals out of the state of South Carolina. Our biggest supporters are Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and South Carolina. And there are reasons for that. Those people took a liking to, in these states, some things that I exposed, the way I went about reporting certain, right, unfortunate incidents, and a large chunk of following, a large chunk of missing, lost, and trafficking following is coming from Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and South Carolina. Okay? So, I think I have gone over a lot regarding missing, lost, and trafficked. Mission, right? The disclaimer, the platforms, how you can contact missing, lost, and trafficked. If you have any questions at this time, I would love for you to ask me a question. I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to ask the questions that you would like to ask. Okay? So, I'll just wait a few minutes to see if anyone has any questions. And then if no one's asking any questions by 10:20, it's 10:18 p.m., I'm going to end this live stream. Because this live stream seems to be a bit dead. All right. Questions. All right, so waiting to see if you have any questions. It got real dead real quick on this live stream about missing, lost, and trafficked coverage. So that's what I want to see. Do you have any questions? Y'all let me know if you do. And I hope that you shared this live stream to your Facebook profiles with your Facebook followers and your Facebook friends. You can expect that there will be live coverage on several individuals who have gone missing within the past 72 hours. And so there will be an increase in lives, okay? On this page and on the YouTube channel. There's just so many different unfortunate events that's happening. Okay? I see this live stream has been shared two times. Many different unfortunate trying to see how many people have been reached. I don't know. Looks like I'm not sure how many people are watching right now. I just know the live stream has been shared 2 times. And I'm going to share it on my page on Bam Bam. So, Also, I want to say, while everyone's listening, don't assume anything in terms of, you cannot assume that I saw something that you posted, that you wrote, that you tagged me in. I have over 200 notifications on one page. I have nearly 100 notifications on the other. There is constant activity happening on the pages that I manage and on the YouTube channel. I can't read every comment from every person. So that's why it's really important. If there is someone who has gone missing and you're trying to contact me and you want me to post, you need to send an email. You need to send a message, WhatsApp. A lot of my followers know that already, but some people don't. Don't be like, I tagged her, I said something, and she ignored me. I probably just didn't see it. And so I didn't see it. I can't see I'm managing multiple platforms. Nearly 24 hours a day. I can't see everything that people are trying to tag me in all the time. To ensure that whatever you're trying to convey to me, it gets to me. It's important you send an email. It's important you send a direct WhatsApp message to me. You can message the media pages. You can send me a DM. I would prefer for you to just send a DM on Instagram. But there are ways to just send a direct message to me, and I will definitely respond. Okay? I thank you so much, Miss Sherry Coates, for posting the stars. I appreciate your support. And anyone who decides to post any stars to this live, any other lives that I've hosted, or many videos that has been created by Missing, Lost, and Trafficked, I do certainly appreciate. I appreciate your taking the time to do that. It means so much to me. Okay? I want everyone to have a safe and wonderful evening. And I hope that you have a good night.